So I've run out of my own homemade toothpaste, so I'm going to make some more of it. And usually what I do is I use this little jar here. Sorry, the kids are in the background being noisy. I use coconut oil, which is obviously solidified because it's cold, and I use organic arrowroot powder. And then I use these 3 oils here, which are eucalyptus. I use peppermint here, and I also use rosemary. And so what I do is 1 part coconut oil, 1 part arrowroot powder. So I probably, you know, keep those 2 even. So it doesn't matter if you use like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons or a half a cup even. It depends on the size of your jar, of course. So I'll probably use 2 tablespoons of each, and then add around, you know, the equivalent of around 20 or 30 drops collectively, not each. So yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. That's how I usually do it. And I like to change up my oils. I seem to always use peppermint and eucalyptus, but I'm adding rosemary because rosemary has its own magic, and it's very good for enhancing your memory, of which I feel like I'm in constant need of since I'm a mum and get, you know, limited sleep and have quite fragmented thought moments. So I'm sure all the mothers out there know exactly what I'm talking about. So nice clean jar. This is one that I use all the time. And yeah, let's just get to it. Toothpaste made and teeth brushed, and I feel amazing. I ran out of my toothpaste last weekend, and I've just been a bit too busy and a little bit too lazy to remake it. And so I've been using conventional toothpaste all week, and it just hasn't been the same. My teeth haven't felt this clean all week. And I've got to say that I'm so happy that I started making my own toothpaste, because now my teeth health have improved dramatically, and I am constantly in awe of the way that my teeth feel when I brush them with my own toothpaste. So quite frankly, I will never go back unless, of course, I'm having one of those days where I run out and I'm too lazy or too busy to make it. So yeah, I think I've made that permanent switch, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. So we are heading to the farm this morning. I've got to drop the kids off. We're going to do a little bit of, you know, farm work, getting it finalized for the new caretaker, and then there's play dates, and then there's just, you know, weekend adventures. It is a long weekend here in Tasmania. The kids are already driving me crazy. So hey, I was just inside the supermarket. I'm still like, there it is. There it is. I had to go and do grocery shopping because my husband was busy today, so we take it in turns, which is nice and kind to one another. But considering that this morning I made my own toothpaste, and I adore my toothpaste and I never ever want to go without it, and taking into consideration the short stroll that I just took through the supermarket, I really find that industry these days are attempting to really interrupt the flow of self-sufficiency. There are so many things that we can just make ourselves, and yet we feel like we couldn't or shouldn't, or many of us have forgotten how to make these things or do these things, and it's really, really quite sad. So I wanted to continue that conversation that I was having at the car park at the supermarket, and I just wanted to add that I really do believe that industry has in many ways eclipsed the individual's ability to create or construct or make themselves what they need. I find that more and more people now just go out and buy all sorts of stuff that they could really be making at home, but it's more convenient, and in many ways buying it can be cheaper. It's like they've escalated the price of individual supplies so that people will then go to these places and buy the packaged version of them. I don't know, it's just a little thought that I had when I was like roaming through the aisles, and I'm thinking, wow, I could make this myself. Yeah, I could have made this myself.
you know, and I'm saying this from the perspective of someone who grew up with a lot of help. You know, I don't actually know how to cook all that well because I always grew up with somebody in the kitchen cooking for myself and my family. And making things I was quite removed from in a way, but not really at the same time because I was always present in the kitchen. I had curiosity. I saw how people made things. I can do a little bit of stitching and knitting. I can do a little bit of this and that, and I can do a little bit of cooking. And I still have like small portions of those skills. But every day that I don't use them, I start to forget them. It's like forgetting a language or forgetting, you know, a habit over time. You stop knowing how to do it. And so I think it's really important. And when I was at that Zero Waste book launch some days ago, last weekend I think it was, I heard of this thing called, oh, now the term has actually escaped me, but it was basically a mending station, like a drop-in mending station where people would go into a place with all of their clothing that needed to be mended, and there would be a mentor in there that would assist you to show you how to mend that those clothing items rather than, you know, tossing them out or going out and buying replacements, because, you know, the amount of clothing that we're churning through as a society these days is exponential and is actually causing a lot of waste. Now, I'm not trying to ramble at you about, you know, ecology and environmentalism and zero wasteness, but it's more that there is so much that we could be making, and we could be so much more creative about how we live our lives from the sheer point of view of that ability to create within the home, you know, making your own breads, making your own foods, making your own snacks. And many people do. I don't, but many people do. But beyond that, making your own deodorants, making your own cleaning products, making all of these sorts of things that we have become so accustomed to going out and acquiring. And it's really a matter of rewiring the way that we look at things in order for us to remember that we have so much power at our fingertips. We are so intelligent. We're so creative, and we have the raw potential, the know-how in some ways, or the resources to know how to make certain things that can contribute to a greater or a more comfortable quality of life. And I think that we forget this, and I think modern society has a lot to answer for in terms of disempowering the creative component to each family, making everything more convenient, faster, etc. Yes, and I have partaken in that fast and convenient facet of industry. But now that I'm living in this place, I value what it is that I can do myself. There is a lot more meaning. There is a lot more connection. There is a lot more life to what it is that we can make with our own hands. And this is not to say that you have to be able to make absolutely everything, but even if each individual knows how to make one thing or two things or three things that are vital, you know, to their everyday. Take myself, for instance, I make my own toothpaste, I make my own cleaning products, I make my own deodorants and things like that. There are three things that I can do that I never did before, that I can do, that will minimize my package, that will place things into my fingertips, that control back into my hands, that will improve my health over the long term, that will save me money. And it's just a nice little thing to be able to introduce into my home. And I could probably think of like 3 other things to make myself, and I probably will over the course of my lifetime considerably add to that list of things that I can make myself. So there you have it, beautiful souls. I sincerely hope that you have enjoyed this little chat of mine because it was a bit of a wild ramble. But thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for sharing this time with me. And as per usual, just sending you so much love, luck, peace and joy. If you haven't already subscribed, then please do consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you as part of my beautiful community. I absolutely adore my community. They are amazing, and I'm sure you will as well if you are not part of it already. We are such a lovely bunch of people, and we do love to interact one with the other, support each other. It's a beautiful place to be in. So thanks for hanging out here with me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry for the noise in the background. The kids are going ballistic, which is nice because it's the weekend. See ya.